wearing body armor, a helmet, and M4 while deployed in Afghanistan. He did so to reach 110 floors, the height of the World Trade Center towers, in honor of his 343 fallen brothers who perished in them. He climbed because they climbed. And when he returned home, he started the first 9/11 memorial of its kind here in the U.S. And that's how the 110 climb was born. We ourselves have grown a lot over the last 6 years since we started, that we've held the San Antonio 110, but in our first year, we were unsure, being so new, if we could get 343 firefighters to very quickly to carry each of our fallen tags. And it was that year that local law enforcement officers, having heard what we were trying to do, approached me and offered, hey, if you can't fill those spots, if you can't find 343 firefighters to carry those tags, let us, your brothers in blue, fill that gap and carry them for you. In that moment, I understood brotherhood in a way greater than I ever had before. I also knew that if they could offer to carry our fallen brothers' tags for us, how could we not offer to do the same for them? So in that first year, thanks to that combined effort, we were able to pay tribute to all of our fallen. And so our event became what it now is, still true to its 110 purpose, but also shared among an even greater brotherhood, and I believe stronger for it. We understand why we climb instead of walk, run, or ride. We understand that our cause and goal is that we climb to complete the climb of our fallen 343. But while our precedence is still set, we come together to do so, to mourn and pay respect together as a larger brotherhood for all of our brothers and sisters tragically lost that day. I spent a while trying to think of what the heck to say up here. How do you possibly convey something as important and as tragic as what we're here to honor and pay tribute to? And the truth is, there are no words. There are no correct words to comprehend the loss and the sacrifice of those who gave everything to save someone else's everything. I ponder a lot of different thoughts and emotions and read countless stories of our fallen, stories of the day, scouring for information, for inspiration through all of those photos and through those faces, and searching them and rereading that list of names, that very, very long list of names. And there was a word that I kept noticing this year, one that we all come across. New York's bravest, America's bravest, firefighters are the bravest. These phrases or something similar are there countless times that we hear, and our firefighters are the bravest. Every department says it. Bravery is etched into our very patches, emblems, and traditions. And so curious, I decided to look something up. I wondered, what exactly is the difference between bravery and courage? Bravery is the ability to confront pain, danger, or attempts of intimidation without any feeling of fear. Courage, on the other hand, is the ability to undertake an overwhelming difficulty or pain despite the imminent and unavoidable presence of or something that invokes fear. The men we have lost, and hopefully the men and women that we are in this service, aren't just brave, but rather I hope that we are courageous. I think that's more than to be just brave. To face that fear and undertake our course despite of it. We are not, or at least no longer are any of us that have been in for any given length of time, ignorant to the tragedy that can befall us at any moment, on any day. Every time we put on our uniform and go out to shift. To be fearless would be ignorant, to be unsafe. Instead, we do so knowing what might befall us. Kissing our spouses and our children goodbye in the morning, listening for the crackle of the radio or the tone that gets dropped, knowing full well what could happen. Many, if not most of us, know or have had a brother or sister in our profession that we personally knew that died in the line of duty. We were born to prove it out there. We know the dangers. And I don't believe that when our brothers entered those towers, they were fearlessly doing so without some understanding of the dangers that they were entering as well. That tone dropped, and as they got into their apparatus, they heard the report. As they approached that scene that we could only try to fathom, they saw with their very own eyes what painted the expressions of every person who witnessed it, which we saw from afar. A plane had plowed through the upper floors of the building, severing one of the tallest buildings in the world, killing countless in just that one moment alone. Think about that. That was before they entered. That is what they approached to. And as they entered, those flames and that chaos were above them. It was all just up that stairwell. And yet they were moving, not away, but towards it. You can't do this job and not understand that fear is what allows us to stay as safely as possible to be able to do the very job that we do. The difference between them and the average man, however, is the very fact that in the face of that fear, despite it, they went in it anyway. So no, we aren't just brave because we aren't ignorant enough anymore to be fearless. Rather, we face these dangers and continue on towards them regardless of that fear. And that is what defines us. Not just bravery, but rather courage. As we think of those that we've lost and the men and women who we're about to pay tribute to, I ask for you, as we've done in the last few years now, to turn your attention to the honor board located at the tower front. No line of duty death tributes were submitted this year. However, we ask that you turn towards the honor board, which bears the badges of some of our local fallen brothers, placed by their families in years past, and hold a moment of silence for all of our brothers and sisters who so courageously lost their lives in the line of duty this last year.